everyone, I'm Latasha the Stylist and welcome to my channel. Today I will be demonstrating a sew-in with a closure. The hair I will be using today is from BQ Hair. I will be using a closure in 3 bundles. The closure is a 10-inch closure, a 4x4 with 3 bundles of 10 inches, 12 inches, and 14 inches in the color light pink. First and foremost, make sure your client's hair is clean. Never begin to do your client's hair if it's dirty. So with this style, she wanted a side part. So I made the part, and from the part, I will begin to braid each braid down towards her ear, along with connecting each braid to the next, all the way around her head. Also, I will add in braiding hair to each braid just to make the foundation more secure. The goal for your foundation when doing any type of sew-in is to make it as flat as possible. Here is the final results of the braided pattern. Each braid is connected to one another, leaving the foundation really flat. Remember, that is key, a very flat foundation. Unfortunately, I lost the footage of me sewing down the sides, but basically each side is sewn down with close stitches from the first braid all the way back to the horseshoe part of the closure. We are about to begin to sew down the closure. So if you do not know how to sew down a closure, I would suggest you pay attention to how I sew it down. This technique took me a very long time to master, but with trial and error and a lot of patience and practice, I finally got the technique down. Pay attention to how I inserted the needle and pulled the needle out towards me. And I did that all the way up to where I parted, and then I started to work my way back down to where the closure ends. I like to cut my lace using a razor because it gives it a more jagged look instead of just a straight across look if you were to use shears. So I always use a razor to cut off the lace so it can look like a more realistic and natural hairline. Now that both sides of the closure and the front of the closure is sewn down, I will begin to sew down the back of the closure. I like to do this step last to ensure that the two anchor braids in the front are not revealed once all said and done. A lot of you will already know this step, but for the ones who don't, I started sewing the wefts onto the very last braid at the bottom, going back and forth, working my way all the way up using a fold over method. And I would say this step is optional. It's basically your client's preference, but I like to start cutting the wefts once I get about 4 wefts away from the closure. But I always ask my client what do they prefer. So if they want me to continue to use the fold over method, that's what I do. If not, I will cut the wefts so the foundation is really flat at the top. Now on to the fun part, the styling process. I say it's the fun part because you're that much closer to being done. Just kidding. I love everything about sew-ins. But here we go. Let's style this hair. When plucking your part, you always want to take your time with this step, because if you rush it, you're just going to mess up. And trust me, you do not want to pluck the part too wide, because that's just not going to look natural, right? So just take your time, be patient. Trust me, your client will love you in the end. For the style, I used a pretty basic curling technique. Her entire left side will be curled towards the right, and her entire right side will be curled towards the left. So just continue watching, pay attention to how I'm curling it, and you will get the exact same look that I achieved. Well, my loves, my name is Latasha the Stylist, and I would like to thank you all for watching. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe now. With that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the tutorial and learned a few things along the way. Up until next time, have a wonderful and blessed day.